Okay, good morning, gentlemen. Hel- um, Good morning, afternoon, evening in some places. And welcome to UkraineDating.tv, the world's first and only by donation video platform that allows you to meet Slavic women and give you the opportunity to win the hearts of Ukrainian women. So today's topic is why men accepting unacceptable behavior of women in modern dating. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna play the video and then we can discuss this. Okay.
If you're a man who has problems with women and they don't seem to be respecting you, you can't exert your boundaries, whatever it is, chances are when you were growing up, you had a mother or a mother figure that either didn't give enough love or was inconsistent with love or didn't allow you to be yourself. One of those things. Because you didn't receive unconditional support and love from a woman growing up, you seem to think having to earn love and beg a woman to respect you and beg a woman to love you and trying to buy her love is a form of attachment. It's just how it should be. You don't know what the other side looks like. You don't know what it looks like to have a woman that says, "Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something? How can I help?" Or, "Did that upset you? I'm so sorry, let me take that back." You don't know what that looks like because you didn't experience it in your childhood. And as a result, you go into adulthood looking for and accepting unacceptable behavior. You have to just spot that pattern in yourself.
Well, let's discuss this. Yeah, I guess it goes both ways. It's not just men that lacking some love in the family um, dynamics, and same thing for women with women as well. You know, if you're lacking love, if you're watching your parents not having love in the relationship, is just kids can pick up on the energy, right? So uh, yeah, I met men like this that were they were not loved. They didn't have consistency exactly in when they were growing up, and it left a scar in their hearts, in their soul, and they well, I know one person. His family, like, there was no love shown in the relationship, and the mom was way too attached to him because she considered him as like as a man, because the husband her and her husband were not in a good relationship, so that kind of messed him up. And I don't know, he was very very attached to her, and then every woman that he met after that, it was just like he was too needy. You know, he was always like very insecure, which is you know what, you don't have to be the best looking guy, you don't have to make tons of money, you know, you don't have to have the six pack or any of that, you know, for someone to love you. You know, you don't have to put that facade, you know, put a mask on, you know. I suggest for everyone is to be themselves in a relationship and just be honest. And because I mean, if you lie in the relationship, it's not gonna get you anywhere. And yeah, so it's kind of an interesting topic for me because, well, I'm a woman, so I don't know what's going on in the mind of a man. Um, well, for the most part, I can, but in this situation, I'm not even sure. But yeah, I can see if you don't have a proper childhood, if you don't have love and, you know, consistency in your relation in the childhood, you can be, yeah, a lot needy a lot. So, but what I say to men, you have to be just confident in who you are, you know, just accept who you are, you know, and set boundaries as well. Because if you let the, you know, there's a saying, I heard it's funny, kind of true in a way too. It says, so men are like hardwood floors, lay them right the first time and you can walk all over them for the rest of your life, right? Which I, like I said, it's funny, it's sad at the same time. But yeah, so men have to have boundaries, same with women. It's that everybody has to have boundaries, because if you let the person walk all over you, even if they don't want to initially to do that, but if you allow them and you let them get away with little things, and that those little things become bigger things and bigger things, and then in the end, because you let the person walk all over you, you can't expect them not to, in a way. But anyway, let's Jake, would you are you interested to come and join me? Hold on, let me add you to stage. Hi.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh, hello.
hi, how are
Good
you?
to
Where are
meet
you
you.
from, Jake?
Hello.
Hello. You're
I'm
cutting out.
from Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was actually I
Oh,
was
can
gonna ask that, but sometimes the accent could be New Zealand. I don't know, it's a little hard. But yeah, go on. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 36 years old.
Okay. And
Um,
single?
yeah, so it's yeah, I'm single.
No, you're cutting
Um,
out.
yeah,
Hmm.
haven't really been able to find love as such, but I try to keep an open mind and
Hmm.
finding someone who can accept me for who I am.
Well, that.
So it has been a struggle at times, but I'm keeping busy in my life with different activities and trying
Hmm.
to fulfill my life with different skills and proving
Yeah.
on my own ability. So
Mhm.
uh, yeah, yeah, I find the online dating hasn't been great at times, but I've had a go at different sites and
May I ask
going over.
what sites do you usually use, if that's okay?
Uh, yeah, I've tried a few Ukrainian sites. Some I don't really agree with them, and I haven't really gone into
Hmm.
any further. But yeah, I have gone for some Filipino dating sites, and did go over to Philippines once and met a lady over there. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, just the commitment. I think it's not easy for someone from overseas to be able to really engage it. I mean, it's another level. It's when you're
Yeah.
sort of local, it's a lot easier to have friendships and
Yeah.
relations. But when you're going overseas, it's just a whole new level, and it's
It's
um,
it's scary,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
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 I know because Joe, the founder of this of our site and our agency, he met his wife in Ukraine, right? So uh, yeah, he started this because he was also, in a way, I want to say, desperate um to find a woman here. He's a very accomplished guy. He's got a lot going in his life. He's good looking. But I guess in the West, it's I find that the women have very high standards here, which I personally don't agree. And then I had some people, they say, I'm like mocking or bashing Western women. That's not the case. Not at all. There are plenty of good women here, but it's just like I said, I do these do a lot of research. I watch a lot of these dating videos, and yeah, I mean, and there's so many sites where they scam, right? So and then we had another episode here, like people getting scammed, thinking that they have a beautiful woman in Ukraine or Russia or other places, and then it just turns out to be some dude, and then so it's hard. But our women all vetted here, they're all real, they all want to get married. And I understand for men it's kind of like, oh, she wants to get married, is it too soon, so I understand how it's for men, here women don't want to get married unless you have all this, like that. But back home, like in Ukraine, they're willing to get married right away. So yes, of course, it's in the back of your mind, you'll be like, it's a little too soon, right? But Ukrainian women, we're one man women, most of us anyway. I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, that's I don't know what other people think, right? But most women, once we get married, we don't want to get divorced. Really, we don't. Like I personally, when my dad left, I didn't even want to get married. And I was like, if my dad left, and then seeing them, other people getting divorced, I was very icky about it. But now, once you meet the right person, you'll know, right? So have you dated a Ukrainian woman through websites, through other websites, or just stalking? What kind of like friendship relationships have you um been on Ukrainian websites?
Yeah, I did chat with a lady. I think it was through Ukraine date. Then she wanted to transfer me to this other agency site called UA Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was this young, beautiful lady. I think she's from eastern Ukraine. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
Ivano-Frankivsk, that the
Mm-hmm.
city, eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think her name was Anna someone.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think what her name was now, but yeah, that was like 8 years ago now, and yeah, she's not on the site anymore, but I think she's must have moved on because I haven't heard from her. Yeah, I gave her my email, and then it's like she just signed me up to this dating site for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to go there, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I sort of got scammed in a way, having to pay to communicate with someone, and but I guess all these sites are a bit like that. But
We are
um,
trying to find out all these websites to expose them, because a lot of people associate, well, you all, because they had bad experiences with some Ukrainian websites from before. They think that a lot of them are. So we are trying to expose these bad guys, because we have a reputation to keep. Like I said, all our women are vetted. They're all looking for a serious relationship. And I know it's, for some men, they're like, oh wow, she wants to meet me after a month of talking, and come visit. I don't recommend you going to Ukraine to visit. Like, I suggest, if you do find a woman in Ukraine, meet on somewhere else in a different country, Poland, maybe Turkey. One of our men, he's actually going to meet a woman. She's from Russia, and he's from Canada here, actually from Alberta, where I'm from. He's going to meet her in Turkey. Also kind of happening quick, but they both want the same thing. So I mean, why beat around the bush? And I also don't understand how in the Western society, when people date for like 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, some people date for 10 years and then don't get married. It's like, why not? I mean, you've been together for 10 years. I think if you are seeing, like, dating, not like long distance, but if you're dating someone in person, right here, I think after a year, maximum 2 years, you should know if you want to be with this person or not. Like, I think that's good enough time. Back in the day, like, people would get married after a week, like older generations, right? So, yeah, I think it's a little scary for the guys, but that's what Ukrainian women want. Just want to settle down, have a stability in life. And like I said, money doesn't really matter. Um, how much the guy is making, as long as the basic needs, are met. Bills are paid, food is in the fridge. And most Ukrainian women cook anyway, so we don't even like going out. I personally don't even like going out to restaurants because I cook better. Why? But I really enjoy cooking. Um, so hold on. Would you mind if I'm gonna add John? John, would you like to join us? Hold on a second and let me do this one. Oh no, actually this is good. Wait, was it this one? No. Yeah. Hello, John. How are you? Where are you from?
Hi, United States,
United States. Where in United States, if you don't
New
mind me asking?
Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Trying to figure out, is it the eastern or?
Yep,
Okay, yeah. New Hampshire is kind of closer to New York, right?
right.
Somewhere there. And how's life there? How's life treating you there?
Uh, it's all right, but there aren't many women here, so
That's surprising because the U.S. has a lot more women than Canada. Well, population-wise, anyway. So. But so what's it like dating in US compared to, let's say, well, no, Australia? What would be the difference? Like, you guys let me know, because I'm just trying to learn Western society still.
Well, there are some websites that say to uh, go to Australia to meet women.
Really?
um, there are some, websites say to go to other countries, but uh, the it's just in New Hampshire there aren't a lot of single women,
Hmm.
so I could, uh, you know, uh, there are other places like New York and like
Hmm.
Washington that have more single women.
And when was your last relationship?
Well, I have lately just been online. I uh, in person. I met a woman last year,
Hmm.
over a year ago.
And how long did you guys date for?
Uh, well, that was long distance. It was kind of had problems.
Hmm.
So it kind of uh, you know uh, she wanted to move on. So,
Oh, she wanted to move on. Okay.
but it was awkward. With a long distance, it's harder. But
It is, long distance is not an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's not easy. I've tried that before. Mm, I mean, I stayed faithful. He didn't. So, yeah, I know it's kind of hard. So yeah, I know this is why our women, they want to meet pretty soon and then move on and move to the next level, right? And because yeah, they just want to start a family. We also have women that are older that they just want to have a nice husband, and you know just simple quiet life. Like, I remember growing up there, like just watching my grandparents. They're my role models, not my parents, not anybody else. It was just my grandparents. And like I said, my granddad that raised me is not my biological one. I didn't even know until I was 8 years old that he was not my biological grandpa. But I always watched them, how respectful they were of each other. He's such a gentleman, always open doors and getting my grandma flowers. But he wouldn't buy them because my grandma grows. She's got like 70 rose bushes, so he would go and pick the pretty ones, in the morning, and just give them to her. And it was beautiful to see, even though my parents got divorced. And at that time I was like, I never want to get married. But also watching my grandparents change my mind as well. And she would always respect of him. And I know Western women kind of make fun of Eastern women because we like to submit to our men, but not in a way it's like, oh, you can walk all over me and then do whatever it is that you want to do, and I'll just put up with it. That's not the case. But in a way, submitting that, he takes the lead. I like it when my boyfriend picks a place where to go, like to do activities, for example, right? um I like him to take lead. I like it that he's is the protector of me. That's what we are looking for. We don't I honestly, I don't even know how much my boyfriend makes a year or a month. I never asked him because that doesn't really matter. I know he has a job. That's important. He has stability. And when you meet that someone that respects you, loves you, and where you can be yourself, you don't have to hide. Because I've had some personal issues from a previous relationship, and I thought, like, who's gonna want to be with me because I'm a little messed up in the head. But he saw past that, and I'm happy. And he's seen me at my worst and helped me pull through the stuff, right? So, And I would not trade him if some millionaire rolled up on me and be like, hey, you can have all this. No, you know. There's also a saying in Russia and Ukraine, I've said that before. It's with the loved one, even life in the tent feels like palace, right? Because in the end, what in the end, when you're old, all you have is your memories, right? All these things, gold watches, whatever, diamonds, and all this stuff. It's really irrelevant, you know, because I know, man, the reason why they want to get married, they want to not to stop running around spending crazy amount of money on first dates. And I know that these dates, especially like I said, in the Western society, it's unbelievable. You know, women have, I've seen this. Do you mind if I'm gonna add one more person here so we can all have a chat? Hi, Nicholas. I'm gonna add you here.
Hi there.
Um, hi. So yeah, these women here, they have such high standards. And again, I'm not trying to mock Western women. No, like I said, I've met so many. I know so many. They're very good women. You know, they were raised right. They were not, you know, not involved in too much social media, because that ruins a lot of people, and especially women watching. Oh well, her man bought her $10,000 ring. I want one like that too. But why? It's 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 ridiculous to me. Like, if you want to like, when I was younger, I used to compare my life to someone who who had a better life, right? And be like, oh, why can't I have these things? Well, why can't I have these things? Well, life is not fair. But nowadays, I look at life differently. I look at the person that has less than me, person that has nothing, and I'm like, okay, hey, I'm grateful I have this. I'm healthy, you know, I'm not I have a home, I have a job, you know, bills are paid, you know, what else do I really need? Right? So that's how Ukrainian women think. You know, all we want is stability, loyalty, the same things that you want from women as well. So in the end, you know, once you become a power couple, you can be a power couple. You can make money together. You can bounce ideas from each other. You know, if the woman, I have met men where they had nothing at all, and they met the right woman, and now they're living lavish life because she supported him, she believed in him, she pushed him. You know, when he was giving up on himself, she didn't. She pushed him through the hard times, and multimillionaires having a beautiful life, beautiful children, you know. And I've met men where they had everything. They met the one wrong woman, she destroyed the lives. They went bankrupt, they lost everything, right? And I'm not saying that there are some Ukrainian, Russian, Slavic women, they're like that too. I'm not gonna say that's all Ukrainian women are such angels. No, no. I personally have a few friends. Um, all they care about is money. They don't care how old the guy is, how ugly or whatever it is. As long as they have money, they don't care. They have absolutely no standards or morals. Because again, also the social media ruins a lot of people. And yeah. So Nicholas, tell us about you a little bit. Where are you from?
I'm from Minnesota, U.S.
Mm-hmm. And single?
Central Lakes region, Minnesota. Yeah, single.
And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Like at the group range. No, have to be like specific.
Sorry?
Yeah.
39.
39. Oh, you look younger. That's, yeah,
39.
I thought, yeah, 30. I would give you 33, 34. Anyway, so are you looking for a wife? You're looking for something serious?
Yeah. No, I'm getting older. I'm needing to get serious.
Yeah. So when was your last relationship, if you don't mind me asking? And how long did it last? And who was she? Like, in just brief.
Well, I've actually kind of given up on relationships here in the West now. I'm from the cities originally, but I moved out. I bought a piece of property in the country in 2014, just land.
Mhm.
and I've been like slowly developing it over the past 10 years, just going slowly by slowly.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm
but
proud of you, even though I don't know you.
Yeah,
Well, you definitely need
um,
you a Ukrainian woman. We love to garden. I grew up uh, growing our own vegetables, fruits, and all this stuff. So Ukrainian women love this. So that's a bonus. Yeah, a lot of Ukrainian
yeah,
women like in the country because that's most of Ukraine is really country. There are only a few big cities, whereas but even though like when people that live in the cities, they still have a little piece of land somewhere in the country, and then they go and grow their vegetables and fruits. So yeah, that is a
yeah.
bonus. And so how long was your last relationship, you said?
Well, so I've so it's kind of complicated. I haven't really been in a relationship really since my ex-wife from 2018. We divorced in 2018. And since then, it's just been kind of like dating here and there a little bit. Um, and I was looking in the Philippines
Mhm.
for a while. I went to the Philippines 2 years ago, year and a half
Mhm.
ago. Um, but my father's side of the family is from Slovakia.
I was gonna say you look Eastern European. You look like, yeah.
Yeah, I've always gotten that.
I was gonna
I've
say, but
always gotten that because my mom's side is from her ethnicity background is from Sweden,
Mhm,
and my dad's background is from Eastern Europe, Poland, Slovakia, like that.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but my great grandparents on my dad's side, they claimed heritage of being Kievan Rus
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
from that region
Yeah.
in Kiev, and then
Mhm,
they settled in Dubova, Slovakia was the
mhm.
old farm,
Okay.
which is kind of by Bratislava or something, I think,
No,
or
I've been to Bratislava
Prague or
before, but
Bratislava, I don't know.
mhm.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I've been to Bratislava before when I played
Oh,
basketball, back in the day.
oh, cool. But
Yeah.
growing up when I was a kid, we grew up in Minneapolis area, and there's lots of my dad when he was growing up, they were from Duluth, but then they moved back down to the cities, and there was a lot more Ukrainians and Eastern European people in Minneapolis at that time.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Actually, the first Russian Orthodox church in the United States was in Northeast Minneapolis. It was actually
Huh.
sponsored by Russia at that time.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And then yeah, and then growing up, my dad was still connected with the some of the Ukrainian community down in the cities, and we used to go and visit different people when I was a kid
Mhm.
and everything. And he used to get the Ukrainian Easter eggs and stuff. He used to go to a particular lady, and he would buy the Easter
Mhm.
eggs. They would make the paintings, on the
Yeah.
eggs.
Oh, I
He would
used to
go
do
and
that.
buy those and stuff.
I used to do that with my grandma. It was my favorite holiday. It was the Easter because I got to do it with my grandma, and I'm an artist, so I ever since I was a kid we used to do that. It was so much fun. I kind of miss I miss
Yeah.
Ukraine in so many ways, but I do like the life here because there's so many opportunities here compared to Ukraine, especially now. I want to
Are
go
you in
back
the
to.
States now, or?
I live in Canada, in Calgary, in Alberta. So I've been here for 25 years
Oh,
now.
okay.
I was here when I was almost 18, 2 months shy of 18, and been here ever since on my own. Yeah, so I do like. It's an easier life. It's a lot of enabling, though. I also find it's just. I find that a lot of people are lazy here. To be honest with you, it's like,
Is it really easier in Canada? I heard Canada's kind of like struggling,
well, I
just
mean,
like
compared
same
to
like US
Ukraine,
is kind of the economies.
um,
Okay,
you know
compared to
what,
Ukraine.
Canada and US. I mean, I've been to US, but only to visit there. But it's cheaper in US, that's for sure. Like, but it's it's cleaner here. Canada is one of the cleanest countries in the world. That's what
It
I actually.
depends. Yeah. Well, Canada is just pine trees and lakes and
And
rivers.
what's wrong with that? It's beautiful, clean. We have clean air.
No,
Too
there's
many
nothing.
wildfires
There's nothing
these days,
wrong
but
with that.
I love it here. Ukraine is actually a lot of, like, especially the Karpati, the mountains. It reminds me of where I'm from, so I'm cool here.
Oh,
I
by
like it here.
Carpathia.
Yes, yes, yes. They go from
Yeah.
Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, Slovakia, yeah, all the way around there. Yeah, so it reminds me of, yes, of back home. I miss it. I want to go in September.
What
Maybe
region were you from? You said so. You were from the
uh,
Carpathian region.
western side. It's called Mukachevo, and it's about 2 hour drive to Budapest, Hungary. So it's like right on the border there. Or 2 hours to the border, but then right there is yeah. So when I fly back, I go to Amsterdam, from Amsterdam or Frankfurt, and then Hungary, Budapest, and from there I take a taxi to Ukraine. So I don't know about now how it's gonna work, because I'm not sure if they even go. I need to find out firsthand, like if I'll be able to even get a cab if they still go to Ukraine. But I'm thinking so. Like, people need the money anyway. So, but plus it's pretty safe there so far. No bombing,
Yeah.
nothing. But Lviv is not that far. There are still bombing places there, but who knows what. But you guys tell me more about
Yeah,
what's
I'm
it
trying
like.
to just get a. I'm just trying
What
to get a picture in my head of where the Carpathian Mountains were again. I forgot exactly which countries they're between.
It's okay. It starts in Poland, Ukraine is here, Poland here, Hungary here, Slovakia here. So it goes around there like that. So from Poland and all around Western Ukraine and down to Slovakia also. So guys, tell me more about what's it like to date in the Western society. What is it that you like about Western women, and what is it that you don't
I
like?
just feel like there's not women here. Just they don't have enough struggle. It's like everything's just been given to them on a platter from
Yeah.
the time they're like in their youth. And now the real problem is, like the baby boomer generation.
Mhm.
Basically, like in short, baby boomers have spoiled their daughters,
Mhm.
while at the same time, millennial men and
Mhm.
especially millennial men and below, maybe Gen X as well. I'm not sure because I don't know about them. I'm a millennial, but
So am I.
Men now, my generation of men have been thrown underneath the bus per se,
Mhm.
you know, and women have been given everything like so easily. But now, basically, the problem is that millennial women are looking to find a mate who does as good or better than their fathers did,
Mhm. Yeah.
the baby boomer generation. And millennial men are not doing as good as their fathers did.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so and then the baby boomer fathers are keeping on supporting their daughters,
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
and also the government is there as well, and the government is there as well
Yeah.
And so literally it's like there's no like actual practical reason for majority of females to get married unless they really have like the wisdom, and unless they really had like a decent like upbringing. There's
Mhm.
like literally like no practical reason for a woman today financially to feel like she needs to get married or have a husband, because their fathers are there to take care of them, and the government is also there, and the millennial men are just not doing as good as their fathers did,
Mhm. Yeah, I
you
agree
know.
with you on that one. Yeah. I say, social media has ruined a lot of people, because women, I notice that
That's also, yeah.
they watch other women that were lucky enough to meet someone who's got a lot of money, and then they start showing this lavish life online, like, oh, he got me Louis Vuitton, he got me this, he got me that. Well, yeah, that you're lucky, but women have to, like, everybody has to have some common sense and know their worth, right? Because not every woman is the same. You can be so beautiful, but you have a high body count, you're a bitch. Like, just because you're pretty, guys should be like buying you expensive gifts. I think, if I know firsthand, if you're a good person, if you're a good woman, if you don't ask for much, but you treat your man with respect, he will go out of his ways to get you things that you don't even need to
Well, you
ask.
know what? Also, the other problem, I mean, just to be honest, is
Mhm.
it's not just also the American women's fault, you know, it's also just the fact that like a lot of, you know, millennial men growing up, like we didn't have like that pressure either to really
Mhm.
go, you know, we didn't have, you know, a lot of my generation, you know, like we grew up. I mean, me growing up, I was still outside pretty active and I did a lot of sports and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of the guys in my generation were sitting around playing video games a lot. And either
Yeah.
that or they were into into like smoking pot, just hanging out, taking it easy, doing whatever. Because I don't know what it is, but it just seems like the baby boomer generation, they just kind of like think about themselves, like how to take care of themselves, and then the kids are just kind of like there and they just kind of like let them go and like do whatever.
That's
um
what.
in
Yeah, I
general,
I agree with you on kids
you know, and
here.
like when you're growing up, when you're a kid, like when you're younger, you're thinking, oh, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's like, yeah, that's kind of how I see it, the problems.
Yeah. So,
So
yeah,
women here also, they're not attracted to most men also, just because, I mean, a lot of the guys, they don't have the motivation also. I think a lot of it is they feel, they felt
insecure.
like maybe, yeah, maybe a lot of things, because from a young age, the girls now, they're like given, that's what I'm saying, is like everything's about equality, and
Hmm.
the boys and girls are being raised together in the schools,
Hmm.
and it's like the public education system is just so like, they're like raising the kids. I mean, look at the public education system now, like how bad it's gotten. And these are the people that have been raising the kids for the past generation,
Hmm.
you know, pretty much, you know.
I agree with you
And
on that. Hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah, well, like I always say to all the men, my suggestion, like my advice to men, just honestly, to be yourself with with the woman that you like. She does not accept you for who you are. If she wants to change you, just leave. I know many men, like you said, that guys play video games and stuff because they just don't want to deal with drama. They would much rather just smoke a joint and play a game and do it, just not to be nagged for no reason, not to um I know, man, of this one guy. He was in a relationship with the wife for 20 years, right? But she would just argue over little things like, oh, you didn't put this plate in the right spot, oh, you left this there, just
Yeah,
constantly nagging
it's
him for
they
for
don't
every thing.
they I
Like,
don't know, they don't, that's what I mean, is like they don't have any idea of like what struggle is. And so then they take these little, they look at these things as like the guy is like out to get them, like
yeah.
he's like doing this on purpose or something. But it's like, I mean, when I was in college and stuff before, like I had some options to be with some different girls, but in my mind, like in my psyche, in my whole like everything, I was always thinking of like my school or whatever. I was like trying to make something of myself, kind of, right? And I wasn't even like thinking about settling down yet. But at that
Mhm.
time, when a woman is like in her early 20s, she's already thinking like, oh, I need to find someone. But it's like such a mismatch, because most guys aren't even ready to settle down yet, but like boys and girls have been being raised together from the
Mhm.
time, from their whole age. And that's not even such a big, that's not a huge problem necessarily. But then you add on top of it this whole equality, like propaganda,
Yeah,
you know? And
I
then the
agree.
whole like hookup culture as well. I mean, it wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't be as bad if there was like actually like a like traditional psyche,
Mhm.
like a traditional sense of male and female roles in the common psyche. But then you take that away also, and it's just like everything's all messed up.
Well, see, that's why I say that there's a big difference between like Eastern women and Western women, especially the ones that grow up there, because this is the way of life for us. The man is the provider and the protector. He's the head of the household, and we are feminine women. We like to look good, we like to look pretty for our men. We work out. Like, if you go to Ukraine, I talked to the guy on the last Sunday, and he was telling me that he's been to Ukraine. He's never seen a fat woman unless they're in their, like, grandmas already, right? They already had like 3 kids and then raising grandchildren, right? But and I mean, like, we want to comfort our man. Comes home from long day of work, stressed out. And women in the West, it's true, they kind of more concentrating on what they want, what they get out of the relationship, what the man can provide her with. And they think, oh, I'm the prize, because I'm a woman, right? So, like, you have to praise me, but what women in the West don't understand, that men need support too. Like, okay, first of all, it's what 85% of suicides, it's men, because men, they need, like, society looks at men as like, oh, you're strong, you're the man, you're supposed to be strong, you can't cry, you can't have feelings, you have to be tough, you have to zip it in the butt and get over it, right? And people, we're all people, right? We all have feelings. For some men it's easy to suppress some feelings, right? But for some men it's not, you know and I noticed that here, women, if the man is not too masculine, they're like, oh, well, he's not a man. It's like, no, he's just a sensitive person, right? And to be macho man, not even macho kind of sounds, but to be confident, like, to be a good man, quality man, you don't have to have tons of money, like, you have to be assertive, man. I always preach this to all men. You have to be assertive, and you have to set boundaries with a woman. But it's easier to set those boundaries with Eastern women, because we grow up in that environment. We know our place, and it's not like our place is in the kitchen. No, that's not it. You know how there's jokes here, oh, my dishwasher is broken, and pointing at the woman, right? No, we do these things because this is what how women are, like even back in the day, like Stone Age, right? It was
It's
the
just
man
a
that.
practical thing. Like literally, it's just a practical thing. It's like literally like right now, I'm working. I do construction. I have a construction business that I've been building over the past few years, and it's like, especially now in the
Bravo, bravo.
summertime, I'm literally like working like 12 hours a day, like on my business, and then coming home and trying to build my house. And it's like, it's just practical. It's like, and like the females here, most of them, they just don't understand because they were raised, they had a house, grew up in a house already, everything's working. You know, maybe their father worked in an office somewhere or something, and it's like they just don't understand real life practicalities at all, you know.
Hmm. That's so true. That's so true. Like I watched, like I said, I was watching my grandparents. You know, even though my grandma had a full-time job as well, but my grandpa wanted to provide for her, to be the protector as well, you know. And then she'd cook, but of course they had their income was combined, right? So, but he didn't want her to pay for things, because that's how the Eastern society is working. This is how it should work. And I'm not saying that the man has to provide for everything, right? No, but just like basics, right? But the woman has to also reciprocate that, you know. Just you can't, it has to be two-way street, right? And I noticed that when a woman does things for her man out of love, you know, out of love and out of care, the men love it. You know, who doesn't like to come home to a clean house and then a homemade meal, and no nagging, give them a little massage, like shoulder rub, you know. And that, men are very easy creatures, you know. Like, you really don't need to go out of your ways to make them happy. Be loyal, be supportive, be loving and caring, and don't nag them, right? And feed them. If you don't know how to cook, learn. Now, no, you can find recipes on the internet. It's not that hard to find. Like back in the day, I was reading my grandma's, you know, recipes in her book, right? I was watching my parents, but I know in the Western society, is not the kids are not grown the same way. So, like, even back home in Ukraine, all girls and boys had uh working class, like a actual class where the guys, that they were taught how to be handyman, you know, fixing things around the house, something just basic stuff, right? And then the women, the girls were taught how to knit, sew, you know, cook, these kind of things, right? I think that they should
Yeah, if
teach
there,
that.
if there was like that kind of like separation here in the United States, they would be like everybody there. It would be like a national like outrage or something, that the feminists would all complain, oh, you're putting the men, you're doing gender roles, how dare you, you know.
Yeah.
When it's like that's exactly what is needed. It's like that's literally like exactly what's needed here in the West is there. And that's the thing that's so hypocritical right now about like everything in the government right now, with they're pushing this transgender stuff, and it's like they're actually pushing it. They're literally like doing like forced gender roles, but in like a perverted way.
I agree with you.
You
I'm
know,
just.
it's like it's like why not just teach proper gender roles? But
Yeah,
they're actually pushing their agenda in a wrong way. It's like so hypocritical.
I agree with you. Yeah. Kind of it's
That would be
still.
nice. That's really cool. I wish they did that here. Just something as simple as a class like that where you have girls doing one thing
Yeah.
that suits them, and
Yeah.
then the young men doing another thing that suits them, that's like beneficial for like everybody. Just like
Mhm.
something as simple as that would like
Life
just
skills.
go a long ways here,
Literally
but they
life
don't do it.
skills. Budgeting, that needs to be introduced in schools too, I think, because a lot of people thinking, oh, I have a credit card, I can just do this, don't realize that that you have to pay it back, so yeah. But like I said, Ukraine, we come from humble upbringing, because I keep saying, and in Ukraine everybody's basically equally poor. There's really very low middle class, mostly poor, right? But also we learn to live within our needs. So to me, like when I first came here, I know that I was like, oh my god, all this food. I was like, holy crap, there's so much food. I gained like 40 some pounds. I was like, and then I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, wait a minute, hello. It's like need to stop. Like just because there's so much food, I don't need
Yeah.
all this food, right? The same thing. I noticed that
Yeah.
in the Western society, women have these social media, so they have these guys always DMing them. So they will get in the relationship, but as soon as the man does something wrong or doesn't even really do anything wrong, but she's not satisfied, it's like moving on, and it's so easy for them, right? Because just, and I'm thinking that just because the man paid you some attention, DM you, and then you just so easy to move on, you don't fight for your relationship. Everybody has problems in their relationships. It's not like everything can be peachy. Like I watched my grandparents, and I think that was the best relationship I've ever seen in my life. But they also fought too, but never took their dirty laundry out in public. Always very respectful, even if they, like a few times my grandpa had a little too much to drink at the gathering, just being thinking he's too funny, but he wasn't. But my grandma, was like, okay, Vasa, it's time to go home, didn't say anything, he was kind of rowdy, took him home, gave him crap, but she never raised her voice, always in a very respectful manner. That, like, I cannot see myself disrespecting my man, even if he really pissed me off. But I would never do that. And I see that in the Western societies, it women to scream at the man in public. I've seen that happen before too. It's like, what, wait, like I couldn't do that myself. So um and yeah, coming from like poor background, when you don't have much, and it's like here, like I said, the Ukrainian, like I came here, I was just grateful I'm here. Okay, I was just grateful I'm here. I don't care how much who makes, because this is the land of opportunities as well, right? And if you're homeless, well, I mean, yes, there are sometimes, you get dealt bad cards in life. You can have a lot, one bad investment, you're broke, you're homeless, right? But here, I think it's more of a choice to be homeless here. So, you know, so for us, like I can $100 for me for groceries, I can fill up my fridge because I know where to shop. I don't like going to restaurants. Also, most Ukrainian women love to cook and very easygoing. They don't like conflicts. They don't like to argue. Most of the times, if even if I'm right, I'll be like, I'll just let it go. Like there's really no need to argue over things that don't matter in life, right? And I know a lot of couples here, they will fight over stupid things like, why are you even fighting? Is this really relevant? Like you're making a big deal out of, there's a saying in Russian, you're making an elephant out of a fly, right? But it's true, right? And oh guys, by the way, there was a couple that married from our agency. I think last week. I've seen pictures. Yes. Also Ukrainian woman, very 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 happy couple. Seen pictures, very happy. So, and you guys, I mean, what do you got to lose? You get a month free. You can chit chat with the ladies. No obligations. Just try it out instead of going on these dates where it's like you need to spend minimum $200, and then it's like and it doesn't even go anywhere. Maybe just start chatting with women, give it a chance. Like I and it's I know that a lot of couples, like a lot of men, just go uh, overseas now. Passport bros, have you heard of that? And they go, and then women just like going on a date. Well, what do you need for to go on the first date? Go for coffee, go to the park. You don't need. I personally think that going on the first date should be very, very easy. Something that where if you guys don't click, you can just go walk away. But no, if you go to a fancy restaurant, you're gonna kind of stuck there. You have nothing to talk about, and it's like, when do I go home? Like, what time is it, right? It's like, oh, I still have to pay for this, and then drive her home or whatnot. So, and like I mentioned before, our ladies are all vetted. They want relationships. They're just tired of um, um, life in Ukraine too, especially now. And of course, there are shortages of men. Most men at war at this time, right? So, um,
I just
yeah.
can't believe it. I mean, before the war, there was already like a shortage of men there, and now
Yeah.
it's like
And now,
it's
and
just
now
like
they're
really.
literally.
It's like
My brother was sending me videos. Uh,
it's
one of
crazy.
his friend's friend. He got literally. There was a military vehicle passing by. They came out. They grabbed him, just shoved him in there. You go to war. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to kill people. And I'm like, it's not up for debate. You're going, right? So yeah. So and I always say, like, okay, so Slavic man.
All because the United Nations wants to make Ukraine like unneutral. They want to be there in Ukraine. It's like all because of that.
Well, the thing is,
All because they
Ukraine.
don't want to leave Ukraine neutral.
Well, the only reason why NATO even cares about Ukraine, they don't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO, and the same thing with European Union. They don't want Ukrainian to be a part of the Union. Ukraine has been trying to be the part of the Union, join the NATO for decades, and they tell them no. But the only reason why NATO is there is because it's on the border with Russia, just because they have beef with Russia. That's the only reason. They don't care about Ukraine. They
Yeah.
don't care. No, nobody cares. And Ukraine was. I'm sorry to say that, but Ukraine was stupid to be poking the bear. Okay, then which is Russia. Like, Putin didn't want this. He didn't want this to begin with, but it was the U.S. But anyway, well, let's not get
Yeah,
into. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah,
I
there's
agree.
shortages of men,
I
and
agree. Yeah.
I know that Ukrainian women, they just want to get married. They want to have a decent, just simple life. And if there's extra money, to do some extra activities, go on a little road trip, or go to a theater. A lot of Ukrainian women are very cultured, and they like to go. I like to go to symphonies. I don't like operas much. No, I don't like that. But I went to Tchaikovsky. That was interesting. I love this kind of stuff. This educational. A lot of Ukrainian women like to read. Um, Very educated, and something to like have someone that, because in the end, I think all you have when you're old is just your companionship. Is your memories, right? You can have all these gold, like I mentioned before. You can have all these diamonds and stuff. Like, when you die, are you gonna take it with you? And when you're old, all you have, if you don't have dementia or Alzheimer's, you you have memories of you and your wife or your husband that will make you smile before you die, right? You can look at the diamonds, or, oh yeah, well, I have this purse, or I have these shoes. Like, does it really matter? And it's funny because I like to wear nice things, but I don't go overboard. I would never buy Gucci or Versace. That's just waste of money. Even if I had lots of money, I
Yeah.
I think it's a waste. It's a waste.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
No, are you
Gotta
leaving,
go.
Jake?
Cheers.
Okay, nice to see you. Nice to
Yeah,
meet
yeah, I
you.
gotta go.
You'll come back. Okay, bye. But yeah, so to me, I want to have experiences, right? Even when it was my birthday, and when my boyfriend asked me what I want for my birthday, I was like, I don't want anything. But he took me to flying. We went, like, it's like kind of skydiving. You go in it like in the tube, and you fly with the instructor. It was so much fun. I loved it. It was the best birthday I've ever had in my life. And that was it. And then we went for a little dinner, and that's it. I really didn't need anything else. We go to the same place I always like, but other than that, I don't care. And he got me a meat grinder so I can make him burgers. But I wanted it, like I know. And I told my girlfriend, who is she's all materialistic, she's like, a meat grinder, what the hell? It's like, what, you belong in the kitchen? I'm like, well, yeah, I do belong in the kitchen because that's where I love to be. Okay. But she's like, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't accept that. I'm like, why not? That's what I actually wanted.
Man, if I
That's
could be
exactly
in
what
the
I
kitchen
wanted.
all day, I'd love to
I
cook. I love to cook. I don't know what
I
the
do
deal is with
too.
these women
The thing
sometimes.
is, you know what, like I
They
said,
don't get it.
Ukrainian women, we love to cook, and we love to eat healthy food and from scratch. And when you look at Ukrainian women,
I know. It's like,
we're always in shape because we like to be healthy. We want to have healthy children. We want to have a healthy life. Period. And it's cooking is it's like an ecstasy, like a euphoria to me. I don't think I want to do it as a profession. I'd probably start hating it. I've worked in restaurants where it's like, too much pressure, and yeah, that's not for me. But to cook at home all the time, I love it. I just grew up watching my mom, my grandma, my great grandma, my great auntie. They're all amazing cooks, everyone. My grandma is the best one out of all of them. Well, maybe great grandma. I don't know. It's kind of 50 right there. But yeah, this is how we are raised. And even till this day, because I haven't been there for 25 years, right? So but I always talk to my brother, and he's 14 years younger than me. And his girlfriend is what? She's 22 and he's 29. So and another thing, like Ukrainian women like older men. So like 10 years difference is pretty normal in Ukrainian relationships, like in Slavic relationships. A man is, like you said, you said so yourself, Nicholas. That women, and it's a proven fact. Woman looks at the man, in the partner, it's like she wants to see that protector, that provider, right? So so but but the women, but men look at women as a feminine, like like not a housekeeper, but okay, so a woman makes a house into a home, right? So that's how these are the Slavic dynamics, where the man is the provider, he's the protector, and the woman, she provides that peace and harmony in the house, so making food, doing laundry, cleaning the house, because this is how it should work. This is in the West. I see a lot of women say, "Oh, we're all equal." We're not equal to men. This is just, actually, I was watching this yesterday, just for shits and giggles. I was watching this when women athlete want to spar with men, not even athletes, and they think that, oh, I'm too tough. I can beat this guy up, but then they get schooled. And I'm like, well, no, we're not equal. No, we can't be. Like, well, mentally wise, yes, we are equal, but physically we're not. In society status, we're not the same. We're not. Period. That's why we even have different. Well, men have XY chromosomes, so we have XX. But the fact is that we can't be equal. We can't provide the same things for, like, I cannot be a man in a relationship. But I don't want to be. I'm fragile. I'm a feminine. I want to be protected. I want to be able to go in the street, and then if somebody tries to do some funky stuff to me, then I want my man to stand between us, and I want to feel that, what, you can kick some ass for me. I wouldn't want to be in that situation ever. I avoid conflict at all costs, but I want to have that security that my man can go and kick some ass, or at least be diplomatic enough to diffuse the situation, right? You don't have to be tough to kick ass for me, but you have at least to have the wits to diffuse the situation and walk away from it, without anybody being harmed. You don't have to, like I said, protection could be in different ways, right? And so that's how dynamics work in the Eastern society with men and women. Man is the head of the house, period. But also the woman is the neck, if you think about this, right? So if I know if my man has an idea, but I don't agree with it, and I know it's a wrong idea, I will I will discuss it with him. I'm not gonna be like, no, that's stupid. No, I'm not gonna. No, I don't go about this because that will hurt his feelings, right? That will make him question his I don't know, morals or whatever it is that he would doubt himself. But no, you can communicate. You can say, hey, honey, I don't think this is the right idea. Let's talk about this instead of just going on the offense or defense or whatever. It's like, no, you can't do that. No, communication is the key in every relationship. And I tell men, a lot of men, I notice they're people pleasers because they try with this woman and that woman, and it's like, and don't go, that doesn't get them anywhere. And some men just straight up just desperate for some love and care, and just to be, everybody wants to be loved. And people, they say, oh no, I don't need anything, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman. That's a lie. Everybody wants that special someone where you don't have to impress them anymore with first dates, with lavish gifts. You just want to come home and see your wife and your husband and just feel at peace. Home is where your heart is, right? You can have a fancy house, or you come to the person that really doesn't care about you, and it's the relationship is based on her looks and his money, where it's just dead. There's no love, nothing, no feelings. And yeah, maybe for some people it works because maybe they're raised that way, or maybe they just watch too much, social media, or comparing their lives to someone else. And it's like, oh yeah, I want a man who's got millions. Like I see these videos where women's like, oh yeah, he has to be 6 feet tall, 6 inches, six pack, six figure. It's like, wait, what? Have you, lady, do you own a mirror? Hello? Like, everybody has to be honest with themselves, and not just, oh, because everybody thinks I'm a 10. No, that's not true, right? Just because everybody, and then for women it's easier, because women get so much attention from men, even though
Yeah.
when they're not even in the, not even average looking, just ugly. I've seen videos of women with the makeup and then they take it off, and it's like, what is this? Like, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's,
that's the
I
thing
mean,
is the makeup
that's
and the filters and
false advertising, right? It's false advertising, right? And women think like, I have fake hair, fake nails, fake this, fake that, but they want a real man. It's like, wait, what? No, make it make sense, right? You have to be honest with yourself. If you're a 3, okay, don't be shooting for someone who's a 10, right? And I always say you have to be just yourself. And if the person doesn't love you and wants to change you, or always nagging you, like, you can't have a peaceful and happy relationship. The person has to love you for who you are. Like I said, my man, he seen me at my worst. I didn't want him to see me, but he wanted to, and I was trying to stay away at my worst. He's like, that's it, I love you for who you are, and it doesn't matter. And yeah, I'm we're genuinely happy. We don't need much to be happy, because we connect on so many levels. We don't need money to have fun. Hey, I went to dollar store, I got a frisbee for $4, and that's what we do. Like, in the evening when it's not too hot, we just go in the park behind the house and we play frisbee, and we're having fun. We don't doesn't need to buy me anything fancy for me to appreciate him, and vice versa too, right? He appreciates me for the things that we do for each other. And what women in the West don't understand, like, it's even little things like, honey, are you thirsty? Would you like me to make you some cup of tea? What kind of tea would you like? Would you like maybe a coffee? Are you hungry? Do you want a sandwich? right? What women in the West don't understand is these little things, they matter so much. They do matter. Like, it's in the end, it's the little things that actually make a big difference. Because I've been with a man who was abusive. He would buy me lavish things, but he would treat me like crap, right? And then try to make it up to me and buy me this and buy me that, and then, you know, and tell me that he's gonna change, but that never happened, right? So to me, it's more important that somebody loves me for me. I don't have to I don't have to wear makeup to impress them. I want to impress by my intelligence, by my kind nature, right? And that's how Ukrainian women are. And like I said, we all we want is stability. You know, don't need to make millions. Just have a job, right? That like I said, most women are, they learn to live within their needs. And you know, like I said, what does a person really need? If you break it down, what do you need? You need a roof over your head, you need food, you need your bills paid, right? That's basically what you need. And then you, like, what about people back in the days when, like, I grew up in USSR, so it was communist in time. So everybody was equally poor, but people were still happy. They were happy because they had each other, you know. To me, even reading a book together is it's fun. And libraries are free, you know. So that's how Ukrainian women are. We just want stability. We want the men to love us, not to cheat on us, you know, to appreciate what we have to offer. And I know that a lot of people say, well, oh, what, you just cook and clean, that's, but you don't really have a degree, you know. It's like, well, I know men, they don't look at women as like, oh, you have to have a degree. No, it's the women that, when man goes into a relationship, women usually want a man that's established, that he has his own house, or you know, have a good job, car, this, savings, blah blah blah. But they can come into the relationship with really nothing, right? And men, what do they need a woman that, she doesn't matter if she works at McDonald's, if she's faithful, if she's honest, if she's supportive, he doesn't care how much she makes. And like I said, I know this firsthand. When you are genuine to your man, to your woman, if you do things out of love, the man will go out of his ways to comfort you, to provide you with things that he wants you to have, right? Because the relationship should be based on trust, trust is loyalty, of course, as well, love, care, you know, like, put all that materialistic stuff aside, you know. Let's pretend you don't have makeup, and let's pretend he doesn't have money. This is what the relationship should be, right? That's how Ukrainian women are. And yes, of course, if a man makes a little extra, yay. Who doesn't like extra money, right? But at the same time, we just need basics and love and care, and men that appreciate us for what we do, right? And I mean, when I was growing up in Ukraine, it was the basics what women needed to find a husband, right? You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to be a good wife, you have to be faithful, right? And when I came here, I thought, I'm like, well, this is what I this is what I automatically have to bring into relationship. That's what the minimum criteria for a woman is to cook, clean, laundry, you know, take care of the house, take care of the kids. That's the basics, right? But now I'm learning here it's a lot different
Hmm.
dynamics in relationships. Like, women, well, I make all this money, you know, I bring the money in, like, I make more than you. Okay, but then at the same time, they kind of don't want to pay bills at this, like, well, the man should make more than I do. And if she's already figure, so she's looking for someone who's already making more than her. And then
Yeah,
in the Western
that's
society,
another thing too. Yeah.
and then women in Western society, I noticed, yeah, so yeah, I already have this education, I'm making this much money, so they want someone. And if they date someone who makes less, it's like, well, I'm settling, you know, I'm making this much, so I'm already settling. It's like I'm giving you, like, well, it's what's the word?
They want to make equal to men, but then when they make equal to men, they don't want to marry a guy who they
Who
are
make,
making same
yeah,
amount.
same amount, or God forbid less. It's like they're settling. To me, like
Yeah,
I don't make much. I don't make much, but I make enough to provide for myself, right? Like I don't like I said, I don't even know how much my boyfriend makes. And I never asked him, and I don't care unless we get married. Yes, I know, because I've learned here in Canada, in US, that if you marry someone, you can marry into a fortune, but you can also marry into a debt. I did not know about this just
yeah,
prior a few
yeah. That's
years
another
ago. I
thing is
found
all
out.
the
I didn't
girls
know
here
that.
have student loan debt.
I did not know about that. So I'm like, what? So hey, wait. So I can have like my own house. I can have money saved in my account, whatever. I marry someone who's $500,000 in debt, and it becomes mine. Wait a minute. Hello. So I don't even blame why Western men don't like. ugh, I don't know. I don't know if I should marry you, because men have absolutely everything to lose, but a woman in the Western society has everything to gain, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
have to go.
yeah.
I have to.
So
I'm gonna have to leave.
yeah. No, actually, you know what? I'm looking at the time. I gotta go to work too.
So we'll have to.
I
Nice
always have so much
chatting.
fun.
I gotta
Even,
go.
even my
Yes.
my boss is like, well, you should probably wrap it up earlier. You go like 2.5 hours. I'm like, yeah, I know. I get so into it now, and I just like to chat with you guys. Um, but yes,
Nice
okay.
to meet
Well,
you.
yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Please come back. I might be back tomorrow for Irina if I'm not if she's back, or like she had to go to her father's funeral. So she might not be here. So I might be filling in for her one more time. But anyway, I'm here on every Saturday. Come back and chat with me anytime. I really like this.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna play one last video, and then I will hopefully see you next Saturday. 1 second. Where is
Okay.
that video? Oh, there it is. All right, you guys.
This channel is designed to help you with this colossal decision that you are entertaining, looking at, which is, hey, I know you're done with dating in the West. Let's not even go there. Old story. But the question you're asking yourself is, are pastures possibly greener elsewhere on this beautiful planet of ours? Yes, the answer is yes. How do I know? I was in your very shoes, just a number of years ago. Now I'm happily married to my soulmate, my best friend, and we have 2 beautiful daughters, and life couldn't be better. But you gotta play your cards right, as anything in life. There's a few paths to success, and the rest of them are paths to failure. So to join for 30 days and do unlimited video dating for free, all you do is fill out the form in the description below this video, and Bob's your uncle. You can date them. Traditional women for 30 days on video right here, completely free, no obligation, no credit card, no nothing. The other thing that you really want to check out is if you're wondering, how do women rate you? First, Western women. What's your SMV, your sexual market value score? Your score from 1 to 10. How do Slavic women, traditional women, rate you? Is it any different? Here's a tip. Most guys get between a 1 to 3 point bump in their score from Western to Slavic. Why? Because they're traditional values. Now, the caveat here is if you're a serious guy, right? You're looking for love and marriage. If you're looking at playing the field, well, no, your SMV will go down. Then you can calculate your probability of marriage with a Slavic woman. And finally, you can calculate your maximum realistic, keyword, realistic age gap with a Slavic woman. All of those are on my calculator, yoursmv.com. Thanks very much. Please subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and share the love.
Well, all right, there you have it. Like I said, very nice to meet you, Nicholas. I hope to see you again, and hopefully we'll find you a good woman that will love you. You're a
Yeah.
good-looking guy. Like, what,
Thank you.
I'm surprised you're having such a hard time finding women. I'm sure it's you don't have a problem
I
hooking
don't.
up.
There's nothing. Not a lot going on where I live.
Hmm.
Like there's one bar in town and no live music. It's
Hmm.
basically, and then I'm just working all the time on my business and on my house.
Listen, you do need a Ukrainian woman for yourself, because Ukrainian women love gardening. I honestly, I grew up, and everybody I know, even the people that don't have like a piece of land in the city, they most people have a piece of land somewhere in the village, in the country, and they actually go there
Yeah.
for a weekend. They harvest a lot. Oh my God, you have to find yourself like a village girl, not necessarily like village, but that sounds weird, but yes, girl from like a small town that, yeah, just that will love to be there in the
Well, I'm
country.
from the cities. I'm originally from the cities, but I moved out here to get out of the cities because things are getting really crazy
Dirty,
now in
dirty.
the
I
cities in
really,
America.
um uh, I've have I been to any cities in America? I have been
No, I just
to
said I moved out to the country
oh,
because it's getting
yeah,
so
yeah,
crazy in the cities. Like where I'm
I
from,
know.
Minneapolis. Do you remember the whole George Floyd on the riots in Minneapolis
Yes,
and all
yes,
that?
yes, yes, that's from there, right? Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah, that's
America's
where kind of like where I'm from. But I
well,
don't
that's
necessarily want to live here forever, but it is nice here and peaceful here. I just wanted to have some property, for myself, and
and especially if you
and I
want to
didn't
have a
want to have,
family, right? If you want to have a
yeah,
family, that's good. It's a good environment for kids to grow up, like run around, like I know that I grew up running around ever since I was a kid in the garden, so yes, perfect fit is Ukrainian woman for you, definitely. And
yeah,
like I said,
everything in here. I built all this in here. All this,
we
I
don't.
did all of this.
Mhm. Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow. You're a handyman. See, that's one thing about Slavic men, they're all handymen. Like, I don't know one Slavic man that doesn't know how to fix things in the house. Wow, that's impressive. Well,
Yeah, that's
man,
true.
listen, you
Yeah.
know what? Try it out for a month. You believe me, we have like what 2,000 women that are looking for a husband.
Okay.
And Ukrainian, like I said, we grow up Ukraine. The only big cities is like what I think of Kiev, maybe Lviv. I don't know the eastern Ukraine that well, but western Ukraine, and even there, everybody's so down to earth. It's like people don't go out to like restaurants to eat much, because people know that they cannot afford it. So why waste money on? So I mean, I understand it's a special occasion, anniversary or whatnot. Yes, but other than that, it's like we just like to stay home and cook, and just have a normal relationship with no drama, and cities. I mean, I want to get the hell out of Calgary too. It's just too many crackheads, too much going on, people breaking in, like I'm scared, like to have to put
Yeah.
up cameras all around my house because there's like people breaking in. I want to live in the country away from everyone. That's my goal. That's my goal for in the next 5 years. That's what I want. I want to buy an acreage somewhere, in the mountains, and stay the heck away. Go in town just to go hit Costco or Walmart, get whatever supplies I need, and go back and grow my own vegetables, fruits, and all that. Just live off the grid. That's my idea of perfect life. The less people you have in your life, the better it is. I find it that way. And all you need is one good woman or one good man. In my case, is man, and that's really what you need. And
Yeah.
then you can start a family. If you're too old to have children, get dogs, cats, whatever. Just simple life. That's how Ukrainian women. And yes, of
Yeah.
course, if men can provide lavish, I don't know, vacations and stuff, of course it's good. But at the same time, I'm not cheap, but I'm thrifty because they grew up poor. I want to save money, and then even if he wanted to buy me something expensive for my birthday, and I told him straight up, if you're gonna buy me something expensive, you're going back and returning it. I don't need anything. I really don't. I mentioned that I needed money, so he bought me that. So, and then my friend was like, "Ew," and I'm like, "What's ew? I wanted it." I don't care. She's like, "Why didn't he buy you some shoes?" I'm like, "I have too many. Really don't need him picking out some shoes for me." Okay, if I see something, I'll just tell him, "Hey, baby, I want these shoes," right? But anyway, okay, guys, I really gotta go. I gotta work. So it was really
Yeah.
nice to chat with you, and please come back, you guys. Really nice to talk to you, and like I said, join us. Let's see, like try it out. It's free for a month. If you're still having another month of of summer, maybe you'll find somebody. Okay, you
Yeah.
guys. Mwah. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and you have a wonderful day and happy weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.